if he's just going to be playing the suicide game, just bring extra salves. Start the lane with like 2 sets of tangos, 2 salves on your 5 position or something like that. So you just always keep your carry at full HP. So they're going to put the Morphling bottom. They're going to put the Abad in mid. And we'll see how that ends up working for them. I think that can actually hurt. We saw that Morphling last time versus the Sand King and Techies. That's literally what they played against. And they dominated. The lane actually was, I wouldn't say like complete domination about just like the laning phase, but it enabled Melez so hard in the game. I'm actually looking at the stats. He got a 10-minute blink dagger on the Sand King in that game. So he was able to just kind of continuously look for these kills with the Techies. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for. And Astral, he's a Techies player. Ramses. Probably that can't quite get in range.
Yeah, he's going to be fine. But I mean, yeah, that's sort of that's the bottom lane. I mean, looking at the other lanes, any sort of tough times for anybody?
I've never seen Abaddon versus Void Spirit. Sounds quite fine for Abaddon, to be honest with you.
I think so, yeah.
And then top, I think this is a really strong lane, Wraith King and AA, but you're into Enchantress. Enchantress just, it just breaks the lanes. If you don't actually end up blocking the camp successfully, or if Enchantress just gets lucky and gets a good creep anyway, it's devastating. So they could still get some type of kills, but I think Enchantress can just body the AA out and also even zone the Wraith King, or even kill the Wraith King, as we've seen players like Taiga play really confident around that enchant.
Go on, Iceberg. We'll get the shield off first. It blocks a bit of the damage. Still, certainly taking quite a hit here before the landing stage.
It's definitely painful. Someone salve him up. Oh yeah, we see. I think Roger salved him. Yep, good.
He did, yeah.
That's nice. So yeah, just buy more regen immediately. Whenever you see the Techies lane, buy more regen. And they will see it's actually a tri lane to start it out. Interesting. As Roger will get the 2. So 3 runes for the side of Navi.
Nice ward, bro.
More money for regen.
You've got to be careful, though, against these 3, right? These 3 are down here. They're looking to kill.
Absolutely. So always want to fight. This is literally his job. Just run around chasing Techies. Don't help last hit in the lane for the Morphling. So Morphling should be able to do fine versus that Sand King. And yeah, just hit him. This is good stuff. Excellent bash. Always want to fly. Get him again. You pull the Sand King out of lane. Like completely. So yeah, perfect stuff. I think Spirit Breaker might be one of the better solutions for this too, other than, I guess, if you have like a Nature's Prophet support, which is probably the absolute best, but this hero is so tanky, who cares if you get actually suicided on?
Sure, well, you feel like you're just going to be able to keep playing like this, and it's going to be enough to stop them from doing anything about reaching farming. And
I love this. So this is what I'm always hoping to see these 5 positions do. You're playing versus a Sand King, even versus like these TAs and stuff like that, you know how much they're going to stack, block it out. So do love the moves already from Always Want to Fly. And he gets the single pull off in the bottom lane too. So no time wasted from the Spirit Breaker. Even lets the range creep go by. Good stuff already. And they're really punishing the Wraith King top right at the start. 2 last hits, forced to use a salve right away. As that Enchantress just goes for impetus. So there you have so many different options. If the camp is blocked, you can always go for that route.
I'm seeing that Iceberg. It's sitting pretty low here. What's got coming out of the guy? He has got the bottle done, so we'll manage to stay out, get one of those runes around this 2-minute mark.
Yeah, look, always want to fight. Literally doesn't care. Look, he's like, "Grats, you're hitting me as Techies." Like, I just don't even care.
I mean, what do you do if you're Techies and Sand King?
You got to just go for the kills anyway. But that's the job of the Spirit Breaker, like an ogre.
Yeah. It just tanks everything.
Tank everything. Morphling 12 last hits to the 8. This is a really successful start here for Navi. Beautifully done from Always Want to Fly.
Yeah, I guess. And do you think this was sort of planned in advance in the draft by Navi? I mean, we saw them. You know, they were happy to slam out the Morphling when they did that. They were.
Doesn't have mana for the shield. If he had mana for shields, he can just dive that.
Yeah, Desperate's got to be pretty careful. I mean, Desperate, he's not going to. Well, okay, no, both runes are still there, so he will be.
Abba's on it.
Yeah,
first time I've seen Abba versus Void Spirit, but yeah, it looks like Abba is having a very successful time. Even though he got very pressured at the start, did have that salve, of course, as we said, from Bloody Enchantress. Bottom. They do connect. Is it enough? It is!
There we have it. The duo getting the job done, despite so far Always Want to Fly's best efforts to keep them off the Morphling. Finally able to strike.
I actually want to say that Always Want to Fly, maybe even just like suiciding when he was that low, might have been worth it, instead of him like sticking around at like 100 HP, because then he can't give information where the Techies is, so he gets that kill onto the Morphling. Nicely done from Puckchamp. Bring more regen. I saw only 1 salve and 1 tangle brought up. I Always Want to Fly. Bring more. Gotta just buy another salve right now. Honestly, like that's pretty much like the best way to deal with this, especially if you're playing with this hard carry morph. V2 is still free farming, but these type of deaths do hurt.
See, I mean, I suppose when you're playing the Abba from the mid lane, what are you going for? Is it going to be sort of a maybe like a similar vein as what we saw from No One when he played like the Magnus mid? He'll go for like some sort of Warriors and things to buff the team up, or can you build for yourself?
I want him to build for himself because Morphling is going to can have a bit of a tough game versus the AA. So I want him to go for more of like a. I'm fine with him going honestly the Phase Radiance.
Phase Radiance, yeah. Okay.
I'm pretty cool with that.
Structures cannot be hurt.
I mean, that would be quite greedy. But yeah,
it's very greedy.
It costs a lot of money.
It is absolutely very greedy, but you know that your AA might, or your Morphling might have a tough game, so you want to be that secondary scaling core. And Centaur's going to be able to go for the auras for the team, right? He's going to be able to go for the Hood, Vanguard, Pipe, etc. if you do need it, versus tanking an AA and techies. And you can go greedy. You're playing versus techies, right? So if the game gets to these later stages, which it can just happen, like you're going to be able to scale immensely. So I'm quite all right with them going for a greed route, because as they're doing excellent in all 3 lanes, so.
To my house.
And always want to fly. Even though they do give up that death, he's still doing his job nicely afterwards.
Yeah, like V-Tune's farm still perfectly fine down here. No question about it. They'll be happy with how this goes, especially when we've seen how much Puckchamp's lane can mess with carries.
That's very rare to see happen, actually. An AA killing an Enchantress. Strikes back. But V2 dies again.
I mean, they might be. Can they always want to fire?
I think they can.
Oh, there you have it. I mean, he may have been farming all right, V-Tune, but now 2 times in the lane. I mean, the Puckchamp signature Sand King Techies duo definitely getting the job done.
Right, almost. Also might be in some trouble up here. He's got skeletons though. Can they do the work? They can't. Desperate. Forced to ult.
I mean, he's trying to dive in onto Desperate, but Desperate's got to call. It's just the backup, and now with the ult coming to an end, Desperate sees the opportunity to strike.
Nice stuff. 5 kills already. Ramses will be the big winner, at least from the side of Navi, but they've done a good job bottom. Even though Morph is still like top of CS, these kills matter. The Sand King's level 5 now because of those. And I think he's already halfway towards that Blink Dagger as well. Okay, he bought a bunch of cheap items. He actually bought a bottle. All right, cool.
The red mist spreads at Radiant's middle tower.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I guess he wants to just play in the lane a little bit more since he did not have stacks to farm on. So he just wants to be able to constantly be able to
look at this up here. He's blocking this up so Desperate can close in, but charges out in time. Actually, not able to make the jump in time there, Desperate.
Ramses quite alone. He's tanky.
Yeah, these two can't do enough on their own against Ramses now with the Vanguard. Very hard to kill this Centaur.
Yeah, you don't know. They didn't know where Roger is either, so they tried to take advantage of a second that he wasn't, but he's back up to top lane. Rotation coming out. This time they can get Ramses.
Yeah, if they have Desperate coming in like this, Ramses doesn't stand a chance there. Ramses in position that showed that he was not prepared at all for Desperate to make that sort of TP into the trees. Catches him by surprise.
Good stuff so far from Puckchamp. Fellas. Still looking to try to go for this Astral. Wants to try to go for the suicide. That can't get the stun from the tree line, though. Always want to fly, though.
Spirit Breaker instead. There we have it. Easily done. Burrow Strike. And a blast off. That'll get the job done every single time now down here.
I can't believe I'm actually kind of liking the techies. You know, I think the hero is definitely legit, especially into some type of situation like this when you're playing versus a Morphling, but I'm actually enjoying watching it, which is, it just never happens. I hate that hero. And it's going to be the same approach. He's got the Lincolns queued up on the Morphling. It's the same thing we saw the other day from Team Unique when they put our Team Windstrike when they played versus the techies. He's got ult if he wants to skill it. They're going to force him.
Yeah, they force it into it now.
One more hits. Charge coming through. Can they turn for always want to fly? He's got bulldoze though. The stuns will only last a fraction of a second.
Yeah, against the 3 of them. They don't want to take this fight. Krilla and Dakar down bottom.
Yeah, they're gonna get him again.
He's in again.
The Stampede. It bails him away.
Oh my goodness. Very, very close though.
Nice tip. Appreciates that move from Ramses.
Dyer's top tower is under attack.
This is starting to turn into quite the dangerous place to farm here for VTune.
Much like cordwood before accident.
He is.
Very, very careful.
It was the same approach that we saw from Windstrike. They went for the Lincolns on the Morphling. He got it very early, I believe, in that game. I think it was like 15 to 17 minutes. I can't remember exactly when. Oh, and look at that. They get the Possess Mask for the Morphling. The Dream. So VTune should be able to keep himself at least topped off during all these moves.
That's very important.
Very important
in a
for
game
sure.
like this with techies, with these mines hanging around, yeah.
Oh, the tread swap is absolutely the thing that saves him before actually the Stampede comes out. So very nice awareness from VTune.
Very well done. As mid lane.
Where's the ult?
Pop out of that.
Look at Iceberg. He's going Midas. I mean, he's going full green. I'm fine with that.
I think, yeah, you're absolutely right that he can go as greedy as he wants.
Yeah.
There's a techies on the enemy team.
Exactly.
There's a techies. You got to go greed.
We're going to be in for a long one, I believe.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. I kind of want him to go Midas and Radiance, honestly. And I think he probably will, right? Do you think he will go both?
I think so, yeah. He's not playing versus some like crazy ranged physical carry, so he doesn't need to go for like a halberd type of build like that. I think he can go for his own selfish stuff if desperate. Let's get silenced up. It's a long duration one. The DD. Oh!
He's over with the dissimulate. He's up to the high ground, but the charge is there. They're in on the but they'll take him down. Now the turn over towards Dekalis. Navi quick to pick up 2 kills there in the mid. Iceberg will be very happy with that. That's going to go nicely into his fun towards this Midas.
And now because he has Possessed Mask on Morphling too, and they took top tower so early, Morphling's just going to get the hell out of the bottom lane, stay away from the techies, and they're probably going to send Ramses down there to soak the pressure. After they look to take out this mid tower, Melis is slowing down the push. Astro's being sneaky though. I actually love this move. The smoking to set up the mines around the Ancients. Well, you know Morph's going to farm. This guy's a techies player.
Yeah, this is going to catch someone. This is definitely going to catch someone. It's back around the mid. They get the grab on. Always want to fly. They try and charge out, but not able to charge anything in the distance. There's got the tower deny.
Very nice.
Taking a little bit of that away from Navi.
Dude, Astro's going to get somebody here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is it going to be Ramses?
Ramses going to see him?
Well, they don't know the mines are there, so yep, he's going to be sneaky.
Sure.
Pinging it out. Ramses is going to be the one to farm this, but eventually.
Oh, maybe the blast.
They actually might be able to get him. Yep.
Woo! There we go.
And he takes the Ancient. Thank you.
Easy.
That ward's probably going to get countered, but he's got the control of the area. So, and this is where Morphling wants to live. So VTune, he's got to go elsewhere too, because now he knows his Ancients are not going to be safe. This is good stuff from Astro. Techies player. Mela is the top net worth of the game, though. He's got that blink super early on Sanking. They're looking to get active. Immediate smoke.
Where are you going?
And who are they? I guess they're after the morph.
Oh, yeah. Always go for the morph.
That's the big catch. Yeah.
Half his HP gone. Good hero.
The thing is, so as a techies, when you've done that sort of play, like you can't go straight back there, right? Like Navi aren't going to fall for that a second time. You got to you start setting up somewhere else, or what's the move?
Keep setting up for those camps. I think this is just the way to play the techies. Like you set up the mines on the camps with it just not expected. You're like, oh, it's just a small camp. Boom.
Yeah, exactly.
I love when you're these people. I mean, I say I love it. I hate when the techies are this sneaky, but this is the way that you play the hero. It's super obnoxious. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see, like, honestly, like an early gem even coming out from Navi.
Who would carry it?
Abba. Abba can't die. If you see the mines, like, you'll never die to it. You always have the opportunity to bail yourself out. So I think they could look to go for one relatively early on, because always want to fly these items no matter this game. Desperate breaker. Desperate.
He's going to get caught in the combo.
They got him.
He allows himself to get silenced there. He had to step and dissimulate. Maybe just feeling confident. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what he's feeling confident.
I'm not sure either.
He just lets himself get 4 hits there from the abandoned dive.
Oh, that's what he DC'd. Okay, right.
There we go. I mean, that's what he's telling his teammates. He's like,
oh, blue screen. I mean, maybe he actually did DC. All right.
Okay.
All right.
The old blue screen. I've not been hit by. Actually, no, that's a lie. I was actually hit by a blue screen yesterday.
Wait, really?
Yeah. I was something that I was using USB wise. I took it out, and then my computer just came up with the blue screen. I don't like how nowadays the blue screen has that patronizing, unhappy face. You know what I mean?
It is quite patronizing.
Oh no, sorry about that.
Oh, look at this beautiful. Oh, dude, man, it's. I have this weird. I don't know how to feel. Like I hate this, but I love it. Gets all the Ancients as well. Look at that.
He's having a good game so far, 1-1 and 4. VTune obviously did well against the pressure, as we said. His farm's still great, but they were able to at least farm some kills out of him, which might not have slowed down his game. but definitely gave a nice boost here to both Astral and of course Melez.
Hey, look at, I mean, Roger's got Midas queued as well. This is the pub strat versus the techies. You pick techies, I go for Midases. We saw him about to die when before that pause did come out. He was like 50 HP, so Melez picks up another one. Mega kill.
Honestly, against techies, I think everyone can buy a Midas.
I think everybody should.
Everybody
Ramsey's queued up.
Buy a Midas. Everybody just buy a Midas. That's what you do against the techies.
And it will be that Radiance, yeah, for Iceberg, as we see.
Yeah.
But it is done on Ramses. So people want to be able to soak a good amount of damage here. And it is going to be the Lincolns, right? On the Morphling, just making sure. Because I saw the Ring of Health, and I assume because he's playing versus Sanking. Okay. So you go for this type of greedy build. Also versus Wraith King, you got a good ways to cover yourself. Sure, you're still going to get annoyed quite heavily from a hero like Void Spirit when he gets Ags, but another kill that they're able to find.
Some significant burst here between the three of them.
Do you see that as well? Do you see what Vutun's got queued up afterwards? Is that a Mage Slayer?
It is. So he's got the Mage Slayer queued up. I mean, what T was on about this the other day, he was a huge fan of this item.
Yeah, but he wasn't a carry. He was playing a Nyx versus a Leshrac. And he's versus good magic damage. I swear we were talking about it. He was buying it. He was advocating for a PL to buy it, actually. He was very excited about PL potentially buying it. He liked it in these sort of situations where there's a PL, maybe buy a hood, but you get this instead. It's giving you magic resistance and it's giving you a lot of offensive potential. Okay. Yeah. We'll see if he does go for it. Always want to fly. He's got the charge on the A. Goodbye, Jakalis.
See if they can set up the kill for V-Tune. Would be rather nice if they can give this to them all. And no, they won't be able to. Let's sort of speed it up a bit there as the Ice Blast comes out. I mean, yeah, we'll see if he continues for it. I mean, he's got it queued up. I don't mind. Yeah, you've got waveform attacks, so you're going to be sliding in, you're going to be debuffing multiple heroes as well.
You're going for the long... I was about to say, is it because of the long game? Is he going for the later stage of the level 20 talent to hit them all? Because he's already got the magic resist talent built in, so it's like... I mean, whatever. They're probably just thinking that they can just win the game if they scale.
Yeah, I think that at the end of the day, yeah, the action's not really going to kick off too much from Navi until like V-Tune has like 5 items anyway. Yeah. So, yeah, well, what does it matter if Mage Slayer is one of them? And yeah, I think Mage Slayer definitely has its benefits.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see the reasoning why versus like Void Spirit and Sanking cores, right? And versus the techies in the game. It's quite a lot of magic damage.
Versus the mines, it's going to take away quite a bit.
I think I need actually a T because I think this game is going to take quite a long time. So I think it's going to be pretty slow. Let's get ourselves some drinks to prepare ourselves for the later stages. Roger, getting close to his Midas.
Be a longer one.
That's definitely going to be one of those.
Roger. They found him. Yeah, they've got the policy as well. Easily got the damage. They'll throw out the blast.
I think it's good that he saves Epi, though. Yeah, don't waste Epi Center on a kill like an Enchantress. Save Epi for those big cores. The Centaur, the Morphling, in particular.
A charge coming in on Desperate. But he should be fine here. Multiple ways to still jump out. That's not something that we always want to fly us down top of.
The mines. Oh, they walk on top of the mines. I don't know how many there were top. I think I only saw 3 or 4 up on that top lane. Lincoln's is done for V-Tune, so much safer versus just the Sand King stun and suicide combo that we've seen quite a bit.
So, I think there's 5 mines.
It's 5?
Five
okay.
mines.
I was trying to count it. It looked like... Yeah, okay, yeah, it looks like 5. I see the 5 little green thingy. So they force the ult.
Them off to, I mean, they're probably going to be able to kill Iceberg after.
Sure
They've got Desperate and Melez in position. They have. There we go. Was Astral able to set up the potential for another kill to be found?
Give him a little golf clap for that one. Nice, nice, nice. Astral in the next spot. He's already preparing the next spot of mines. I hear an explosion. I believe they did find one.
Ramses tried to catch him with the Ice Blast on the way out, but quite able to get the hit, and even so, Ramses not that low.
Disgusting techies play 2 parts toward the Aghanims already.
Always want to fly, try charging in, but the mines were there. We'll see V-Tune try and get some kills out of this, though. He's in onto Dakalis. Tries to turn towards Melez, but Melez out with the Sandstorm. No detection between these two, so Melez will live.
Tower is under attack.
I love seeing Morphling versus Sanking. In the lane, can be a little annoying, of course, for the Morph, but as that mid-game, you just see the potential. Waveform in plus Burrow Strikes always in the game is incredibly potent. It's Mines. I wonder who's it going to catch. Is it going to be Roger being greedy? Does Roger have his Midas? Is he going to go to Midas and explode?
Oh, no.
I think it's going to... Oh.
Yeah, these Mines will kill him. If he wants the kill, he can do it. Does he want the kill?
He's pinging it. He's like, do you want to do it?
I mean, do you want to take an Enchantress or not?
He's like, no, I'm wait for a bigger
I don't think so. I think he waits for a bigger play here.
Oh no, the skeletons! They've revealed it! They've revealed that there's vision in the area.
At Radiant's middle tower.
See Roger.
It's also being set up around mid. Like here from Puckchamp. Ducalici spotted. He stepped up too far. Oh.
He's gonna get the jump in. Straight away onto always want to fly. They got the remnant pull back as well. They're controlled and killed the Spirit Breaker.
Radiant's online for Krylat. Ramsey's not even going for Blink Dagger this game. I think that's a key of what you know, when it's this type of game. Doesn't need to initiate fights, just needs to tank up.
Tank up the farm.
There's Epi coming in. A-Blast
with the Epi. And that's not going to get the hit on Ramses. As Ramses, he's more than fine to keep fighting. He's got the Stampede. Going to charge in straight away, looking for the squish. He's trying to get on top of Ducalis. Dust is out. Ducalis on a high. Krillin will hold back Ramses with a Raid Fire Blast, and that's enough to save Puckchamp's supports.
They actually don't lose anybody. Nobody dies. An Epicenter, an AA Blast, and a Stampede, and nobody actually ends up going down. Keeping it very close here.
Stay themselves on the map. They're watching this little camp over here. I mean, someone's going to head over there. I mean, honestly, at the moment, Roger is really doing a blessing for his team that he's the one farming this, so nobody else is going to get baited into hitting the creeps hit.
They should know that there's a ward around there too with how the skeletons move. They shouldn't, not about the mind, but they should know that there's vision of some aspect because the skeletons literally just ran right over there, so. Fine, Roger mid.
They do get the Ice Blast connection this time onto Ramses. One mine here, not enough to set Ramses underneath the threshold though. Astral's trying to back off, but Vichun will be able to snipe him here with the Adaptive Strike. 2 for 1. Maybe even more. Okay, no, the Burrow Strike, that's it. Unless Krillin can get in on this. Krillin got Raid Fire Blast up in a second. Vichun is continuing to clean up the supports though. He blows up the Carlis. If it's been taken out, Vichun tough to go on here. Full health and with the strength built up. And this backup of Iceberg. Iceberg starting to run down Krillin. Burrow Strike off the mark. That's been trying to jump in onto Vichun, but not enough control or damage to threaten this morph as Vichun is more than fine.
Uh-oh, desperate. Silence comes out. Do they have the burst? Ooh, he tries to actually turn. Ooh, he tried to turn into the Void Spirit and Aether Remnant him. Nice try there from Vichun. Ah, the best item in the game when there's a techies, the fillet.
That is true. Who takes that? Well, I guess the AA or Astral. Who gets dibs on that? Ducalis or Astral?
I think you give that to Astral, yeah.
Yeah. Speed up this Ags.
Hell yeah.
She's already getting very, very close to having it hit techies.
Desperate almost has his Ags too on the Void Spirit. And as we were saying, that is going to be very effective versus the Morphling, who sure, you're covered against the target stuns, but the blanket AoE stuns will be problematic. Here, Happy being rounded up. Ramses.
They're going to try and throw everything down onto Ramses. This time round, have they got enough to burst him? He's trying to get out with the Stampede, but the cold feet kicks in. They'll take him down.
Oh, desperate.
Ramses gone and always want to fly. The Burrow Strike comes out from Melez onto the 2 of them. Krillin trying to step in for more. Burrow time about to come to an end here. See if they can get their hands on Iceberg. Another great jump from Melez. Another 2-man Burrow Strike into the blast off. They blow up Iceberg. Rip Fire Blast down onto Roger. The Remnant won't grab him, but they're running him down. Another stun. Melez making a lot of magic happen here with that Arcane Rune. Just stun after stun after stun. Sets up for pretty much all of those 4 kills there for Puckchamp.
Puckchamp's killing it. Keeping on looking for these kills, and this Iceberg, the Midas, it's really delayed his Radiance. He's still not even close to it. I think he's got the Relic, and that's it. Full recipe away is almost gets out with the Centaur, but the Cold Feet procs.
I mean, that must be just sort of on the edge of the proc.
Yeah.
I mean, is this sort of play from Puckchamp that definitely seems...
Oh! Vichun almost dies, but I think his bonus magic resist actually saves him versus that hard camp mines.
I think the talent might have just made the difference indeed. We see this whole team fight again. It's mid. Okay, Ice Blast isn't going to catch anyone.
It's all Melis, honestly. Melis is the one causing all of these problems with these double stuns and just getting the perfect lineups. This is really good stuff.
Oh, wow, it's a little close. A little close there, Melez. T-pin out as the charge was about to connect.
3K lead.
It's a fast, 21-9. It's almost as if, with the techies, they sort of wanted to draw Navi into this sense of security of saying, it's going to be a long game, we're going to farm, we're going to, Midas everybody, Radiance, let's go. And then Puckchamp are actually, they're bringing the action. They are going to try and hit Navi whilst they're still at this point of the game where And Navi, that they want to play for the later stages, you know, at least with some of these items that they've shown.
Yeah, they're getting punished for the greed for sure. And this Aghanims is already done on techies. That is very early.
Radiant's bottom tower is
So now
under
Ramses has
attack.
Blink, so now they have actual ways to make plays rather than just suiciding always want to fly. Iceberg.
Desperate. Going in. Melez will be able to break the Lincolns.
Look at the silence.
They get Desperate. Needs a little help here, Desperate. Come in.
Stun.
A stolen power strike here onto the three of them as they'll jump in, get
Very
the control
nice.
onto Desperate. Ramses will die for this. Melez going in again with a two-man power
The charge.
strike.
Stop. Suicide.
Gotta be careful.
And we did see V2 and he committed, by the way. The Mage Slayer is online, as we mentioned. So going for that 20 talent, more than likely. We'll be able to apply that magic null... What? I don't even know what it's even called. What's the debuff even called, actually?
What we got?
Does it actually have a name?
Oh, that's just lazy.
Mage Slayer.
It's the same name.
It's the same name.
Oh,
Sorry,
come
well,
on.
he'll apply...
We need a different
He'll
name
apply
there.
the
Come
Mage
on.
Slayer onto the... With the Mage
With
Slayer.
the Mage Slayer. I mean, come on. Let's have a bit of effort put in, please. Can we have a different name for the passive? Thank you.
But they do get the silence. Very importantly, the Abaddon gets the 4th hit off onto Desperate there and able to actually take him down. So, we're going to get a little bit back here for the side of Navi.
Boom! There he goes.
Look, did you see Iceberg's camera? There was no reaction. He's just like motionless. Another one. Astral finds.
Oh no. Poor old Iceberg.
Hilarious. That's a good... the Enchantress voice. They can set up for a Roche now. I mean, you're playing at the techies, so...
2 down.
The techies can definitely set up the area to make it quite tough for Navi. It's working on.
Oh, it's looking pretty good here from Puckchamp.
Astral... I said it the other day, too, when they picked it. I was like, next game, just ban this. You don't want to play versus this.
No, they're definitely making again a further case for that.
Re-Roche.
There we have it. Well, not Aegis. Going for the next fight.
And Melez instantly pops the invis. He's already on the prowl.
Bottom tower is taking many wounds.
I might get... okay, no. It doesn't really have any further backup here, Melez, so just getting some information. We'll start to make their way over now from the mid here, Puckchamp.
Navi's feeling quite pressured, though. Look at the way they're posturing in their jungle.
And there's the jump. They're going to jump Ramses and always want to fly here at the same time. Melez trying to get the MP going.
Melez in
They'll
trouble.
keep pushing on. Always want to fly. He's not going to be able to charge away in time. That's right. Borrow time goes off. Trying to turn over the walls. Krillin. Krillin's still got a second life. The borrow time comes to an end. Remnant into the Ice Blast. They blow up Iceberg. Krillin, they're ready to keep pushing on. Always want to fly, trying to get Desperate off the two of them. The stun's out. Navi, they're just having to back off. They're going to try and get back in onto the squishes to get the jump onto Jakarta's
No detection.
But he's all right, and always want to fly. He's going to get run down, taken out by Krillin, Desperate, and Astral. They will lose Dakalis. So Navi having to be very careful about how they take these fights. Okay, Roger. Steps in. Get caught by the combo. Got a few mines around here as well, so Navi's got to be careful. Some of them off here. Ramses.
He's tanking.
Okay, focus here by Krillin. Desperate, the Blast's back up. He's here. Ramses is gone. Got the reincarnate. They're ready for round 2. They're going to be able to bring down the Morph as well. That's V-Tune then. Roger, he's got no hope here either, as he cannot escape these three. Puckchamp, they are just crushing Navi. As I said, Navi, they wanted to go for the greed. They thought they'd get a little bit of peace and quiet where they could sit back and wait things out. But Puckchamp, with their techies, they're not playing passive. They don't sit back and mine up the map. They're getting incredibly active here. 31 kills at 26 minutes in.
And you have no way to dispel the silence off of the Morphling because he went Mage Slayer. So a silence from techies comes in that lasts an eternity, 7 seconds, and then a double dissimulate, double pulse. I can't think about the name. Resident Pulse. Thank you. Double pulse from Desperate comes out and silences him twice. So look at this. Look how long he's silenced. Just can't do much of anything.
Yeah, that is true. When the actions come in like this, the Mage Slayer does look a bit... Yeah, because it's not doing anything for you against this. There's a little defensive component, a 20% magic resist is... It's not keeping you alive, as we're seeing. You're still dying because of this silence.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Navi does not look like they're enjoying the game either. Every time the camera turns to them, they just look very sad, very serious.
Oh boy.
Violet up to the high ground.
Yeah, why not?
Level 20
They
now.
know that Navi's struggling to fight.
And he's got the sign on the push as well too with the remote mine. So if they want to go in,
I mean, they're trying to fight it.
careful.
They get the sun out the cannon, the Icebox is coming over. Ramses gets blown up. Ramses is gone. Always want to fly taken out by Desperate. Iceberg, Quarantine's about to come
Big
to
dude's
an end.
dead.
They've lost 3. Iceberg, he's not even going to get out. 4 dead again on Navi. Puckchamp, they are destroying them. And as you say, that this team has no right to get the techies through the draft. If you're not banning this hero, Puckchamp are just destroying a team that last game completely walked over them.
It's a level 18 techies now. Oh man.
Look at this one. Ustra's having the right great time there. He's got a big smile on his face.
Tips the AA as well. You know, just remote mines. Why not give them some amplification with some nice ice vortexes too? They just call it.
They don't want to play.
They're like,
they
screw this. Get me out of here. Get me to the next game.
Get me out of it.
Let's get techies out of the game.
They don't want to play. I mean,
beautiful.
Yeah, really. So hats off there to Puckchamp. Just phenomenal stuff with the techies. They're a team that's mastered the way of the techies here. They know exactly how to play, exactly how to just break down your enemy. I mean, Navi, I think they did come in with an approach that they thought could work against the whole idea of techies, and maybe it would work against